Like New Zealand has a very high percentage of golf courses again per capita.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very high. So you've got the international level as well as the club level golf courses. Skiing, obviously. We've mentioned the wine and the wineries. Gold panning. Walking tracks. Great mountain bike tracks. What else can you do?
Earnslaw.
Oh, the Earnslaw. Absolutely, the steamer ship. And you go across to Walter Peak and you go to a working sheep and cattle station. And that's beautiful countryside there. Obviously, it's also home to nomad safaris and Dark River safaris, which is sort of takes you into that Glenorchy region where a lot of the Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit were filmed.
Great restaurants and bars as well in Queenstown.
Great restaurants and bars.
Such a small place.
Yeah, and an example there would be Josh Emmett, who used to work for Gordon Ramsay. Very well-known Kiwi chef, but he's actually well-known internationally. And he's just moved his family back to New Zealand, and he's opened up a restaurant called Rata in Queenstown, and it does phenomenally well, and it's just got great accolades. So very, very good on the international level of dining options. So
When you pop home, where would you eat? Is that a fair question? Are you allowed to recommend anywhere in particular?
which city do you want to be in?
Queenstown.
Oh, in Queenstown?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't been to Rata, but I am going in next month.
Mhm.
So definitely looking forward to that. Botswana Butchery,
It's good.
which is just magnificent food. I like to go to Icart's for a glass of wine. It's got a Icart's private hotel, boutique hotel. Icart's used to be a pub in my day, and now the downstairs area is all boutique shops, and they've got a private hotel that's got about 6 or 8 suites.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that. It's very small, it's very private. They've got a beautiful little bar downstairs, and it just overlooks the lake. So that's really, really pretty.
Burger, of course.
Third burger for the best burgers in town. Literally, there is a queue no matter what time of the year it is. There is a queue outside of that place, and they recently expanded and bought sort of this restaurant area next door that people still queue outside the takeaway place because that's what you do. And the other must do is go to the Cow for a pizza.
Okay.
And the reason it's called the Cow is it used to be cow sheds, and it's a lovely little stone brick, old stone cow shed in Cow Lane. And they make the most amazing wood-fired pizzas, and I don't know how they do it, but just the most beautiful wholemeal oven bread. And always get the garlic version because it's just stunning. And again, particularly in winter, when all the skiers and the ski instructors are in town, you queue. They don't take bookings. You can be queuing for 45 minutes. It's a BYO, so you can go to the local wine store, beer store, and get your own drinks and come sit and they have the roaring fire. And people are happy to wait an hour to get a table. And they will seat you with other people. So you don't get like a table for 2 or a table for 4. If they need the space, they'll sit another 2 people down with you. So it's great. It's a really neat
It's
atmosphere.
not great if you get me in the short straw because I'm a very, very messy eater.
There's always one. It's fine.
No,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, that's an icon, that place.
We're big on our breakfast as well, aren't we, in New Zealand?
Yeah. Very good on our
Massive.
breakfasts.
Mhm.
Yeah. We do love our bacon and eggs and mushrooms and tomatoes and lamb chops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can follow me on Twitter at holiday_hut. Do you like New Zealand wine and you want to go and check it out when you visit New Zealand, but you're worried about drinking and driving? Well, now we're going to find out how easy it is to taste wine without having to drive everywhere. You mentioned the wine.
Did I? No.
Yeah, just once or twice.
Yeah.
A lot of tour companies do fly drives and wine tours, but obviously you can't drink and drive. So what's the transport like in the area so you can just go from your B&B or hotel and do the wine? Is it taxis or buses?
John, one of the beauties about our wine regions are that you can walk between the wineries.
Okay.
Again, unlike Australia where you really have to drive between them, ours are all very handily located, and actually Toast Martinborough, which is the wine festival in November, it sells 10,000 tickets and they're gone in like literally an hour, because people just love the fact that they can just get out and just enjoy their wine, just walk between. They have buses put on for it, but people like to walk, sort of freshens them up between the wineries. In the Hawke's Bay, you can hire bikes with baskets on them, and if you decide that you've bought too much, or you've drunk too much and you don't want your bottles rattling around and thing, they'll arrange to send it back to you your accommodation. So it's all very amenable and accessible.
That's good. What else is there to do on the North Island, particularly at the top of the island?
Oh, the top of the island, Bay of Islands, Russell and Pai here, and Waitangi. Waitangi Treaty Grounds is where the Queen's representative signed the Waitangi Treaty with the various Māori iwi around New Zealand. So it's very rich in its history and its culture up there. You can do the Waka canoeing experience there. You can do the Epipuri overnight launch with great sights. That's relatively new. I think it's coming into its third season. Purpose-built, 30 cabins, all outward facing, king or twin, so it doesn't matter. They've all got their private bathrooms, and they take you out amongst all the islands, and you've got about 2 or 3 hours of activities where you can go kayaking or snorkeling, or they'll take you to one of the islands, and the staff member will walk you up and give you the history of the Bay of Islands. And Captain Cook, and when he stood there and surveyed the place. A Piperi actually means cluster of islands, so that's why they've called it that. It's a really lovely experience, and you can they have a buffet meal, and they bring out cheese boards in the early evening, and you sit out on the back deck and you enjoy your glass of wine, and you have cheese and crackers and so forth, and meet everybody, and it's just a really, really beautiful overnight trip. You can do the hole in the rock, where the boat actually goes through this huge hole in this huge rock, and it's just like literally, it's not much space on either side. That's very talented up there. Wineries, deep sea fishing, great deep sea fishing, and also diving off the Tutakaka coast and the Poor Knights region. Rated one of the best dive spots in the world. You could do the Kauri Forest and go and visit Tane Mahuta, which is about how many hundreds of years old is Tane Mahuta?
Like 400
or 500 years old, and it's just this massive, massive tree. They now, unfortunately, have got it they've got it fenced off because so many people were hugging it, and some people were carving their name in it, and the poor tree, it might be old, but it needs some loving. But that's beautiful, and they actually have a night tour where, again, you could go out and listen to the Kiwi call, and they take you through, it's called Footprints Waipoua. And it's run by local Māori, and that is actually a really moving experience. And you're out at night time, and they give you hot chocolate and everything as well, and it's a really, really lovely experience. And beautiful beaches, beautiful stretches of beach and rainforest. You can go sand duning in
near Hokianga, isn't it?
on the Hokianga coast, which is great. They take you out on a boat to this big island of sand dune, and you go duning down there, and there's always a dolphin that comes in seasonally, and I don't even remember the dolphin's name. I've forgotten the dolphin's name. Comes back every year.
Okay.
And so the locals go and swim with the dolphin, and that's really pretty. You can go up to Cape Reinga, where you can stand at this beautiful lighthouse and you can see the two oceans meet. And in Maori mythology, they believe that you see the turmoil of the two oceans meeting, and they believe that it's the spirit of those that have passed on, leaving this earth and going into their next life, and that's lovely. So they do a lot of tours like that talk to you about the Maori mythology and the legends and so forth. So, what else is there? You can go skiing at Ruapehu. Rotorua, again, Māori culture. Beautiful green and blue lakes. They're actually called the Green and Blue Lakes. We're very big on our marketing terms. North Island, South Island. Green and Blue Lakes. One of the lakes is actually tapu, so you're not actually allowed to... tapu? Yeah, sacred. So you're not allowed to swim in it or fish in it. And there's lots of signs there, but it's quite dramatic, the colours. And it talks about, like, they're right beside each other, but it talks about how one is many hundreds of years older than the other and how they were formed.
And all the geothermal activity.
Geothermal, so you've got all the geysers and the hot pools, a lot of natural hot pools.
Go into a mud bath.
Go into a mud bath, mud bath.
Will it make my hair grow back? I'm still trying to find the secret.
No, get out there and see it. People travel from around the world to go and sit in those mud pools. It's quite fascinating. You go to Hot Water Beach at Hahei, and you sort of swiggle down into the sand, and the hot water comes up out of the sand. It's fabulous. Cathedral Cove is just beautiful. It's very iconic imagery for us. All of that sort of Coromandel area as well is very, very beautiful countryside. Again, the beaches, seafood. Go to Gisborne and eat crayfish and drink Chardonnay. Mount Taranaki. Mount Egmont over in New Plymouth, which is the bump onto the left-hand side. That was actually featured in Tom Cruise's The Last Samurai.
Was it?
Yeah.
Stood in for Japan. In that
Stood in for Japan, yeah.
That's why it looks so pretty then.
You got the Tongariro crossing at Ruapehu as well, which is an overnight walk, or can be an overnight walk. Canoeing, kayaking, cycling.
Fishing on Lake Taupo.
Great fishing on Lake Taupo.
Okay, if you haven't got a friendly Kiwi on app, where else would you go to find more information?
Ooh, that's easy. NewZealand.com. And NewZealand.com has a journey planner on there. But you can also type in search terms like fishing or golf or lodges or walking tracks or hiking or bird watching, and it'll bring up key points of interest, key operators, but it'll also give you a list when you log in from here. It'll give you a list of UK tour operators that you can go and talk to, or they've got suggestions on their site that links back to their site on itinerary ideas. It'll give you the climate and typical times of the year to travel, and see April, May. It's autumn. New Zealand is beautiful, particularly the South Island is absolutely stunning. It's green and gold the whole way, top to bottom. And it's sort of a day like today where you've got the sun out, and it's a sort of a crisp day, a sunny day, but then it has the sort of slightly crisper evenings. And so that's a favourite time of year for me too.
Better than New England
then? No, it's just... Can I say yes, it is better? But then I'm biased.
Okay, great. Thanks both for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We've reached the end of this week's show. If you've been to either the Cayman Islands or New Zealand, please do share your experiences at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show, which is also the place to go to find all the websites mentioned this week. Just look for the post for the 9th of March show. One of the things you do when you go to the Cayman Islands is go to the financial district, and you can see all the company names stuck on the side of buildings, which is quite fascinating. But anyway, don't let the money stuff put you off. It's a great place to visit. The service is great. The people are great. I haven't been to New Zealand yet, but one day I'll better tell you the same about them. But anyway, if there's any destination you want covered in a future show, do let me know via the Facebook page. And I do hope you can join me next time on the Travel Show with John Guinn, where each week I check out before you check in.